Hi guys, time for another road trip. We're just going to do an overnighter up to a spot just north of Perth, 2.5 hours or so. So packed a few things. Car looks very full for just a quick trip, but that's the way it is with photography. Yeah, so let's hit the road. Right, well, we've arrived, and I would hazard a guess that most West Australians and possibly Australians will know where we are, and that's Nambung National Park, also known as the Pinnacles. And yeah, so we've got a night of astrophotography planned here. So it's a bit of a photographer's paradise in a lot of ways. This landscape is quite otherworldly, as you can agree. These limestone pillars are sort of what the place is famous for, but there's also lots of textures in the ground and all sorts of things. So we'll go for a bit of a wander, see if we can find some compositions. The Milky Way is pretty much rising as soon as it gets dark, and primarily it's rising up in the east, so we'll be looking at compositions in that direction. We might also try and find a few star trail type compositions, so that'll be more facing west. Yeah, so let's go and see what we can find. Well, we're really spoilt for choice here, to be honest. I really like this pinnacle here. It's great because the South Celestial Pole is just up above this, so it would make quite a feature. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities here for star trails. So we might go with this one or something very similar, and I think we're going to go for a bit more of a wander and try and find some compositions to capture the rising Milky Way. I quite like this spot actually for the to pick up the rising Milky Way core, because it rises up just up straight through here, or it lays back across this way. So we've got a couple of different pinnacles at different depths, so I think this could work quite well. I'd say this will be a spot that I come back to tonight. Okay, so we're back at one of the spots that we scouted earlier in the day. I'm just in the process of shooting the foregrounds. I'm shooting at 20mm and 35mm, just a small pano for each. And then it's sort of late twilight at the moment, so I'll wait for it to get fully dark before I shoot the track shots, and after that we'll set up for some star trails and see how we go. So, hey again guys. So I finished all the foreground shots. I've given it an hour or so just to let the core rise into the position where I'd like to photograph it or capture it with the tracker. So I don't know how this is going to work, but I just thought I might have a go at running through my setup technique. So this is kind of the easy setup technique. I don't use the polar scope. I just use a compass and a clinometer, which are apps I've got on the phone, and that's perfectly adequate for the photography that I'm doing, which is wide field astro landscape. So 20mm, 35mm. In fact, I've even pushed it out before to 85 and once even to 200, and it seemed to work quite well for even those focal lengths. So anyway, without further ado, I'll run through this and see how we go. I've just got a car coming past. It's amazing how many people are out in the Pinnacles in the middle of the night. Some of them are doing astrophotography, but many are just driving around looking at the Pinnacles at night, which is interesting. Anyway, so first step is to level up the tripod as best you can. I've got a leveling head on this one, and I've also got a bubble here, so we've got that set up. So the next step is to grab the base of the tracker. So I'll take the actual tracker off, put that in the rock bag. These rock bags are super handy for being out here at night. You can just put things down, don't lose them. So this is just the wedge of the tracker, and why I'm doing it this way will come obvious in a minute. So the next step, so I'll just double check my level. It looks pretty good. So the reason I've taken the tracker itself off is because it's full of electrical components and batteries, and the next step is to use the phone compass to pick up south, and with the tracker on, because it's got the batteries and the electrical components, if I don't take that off, it throws the compass out a lot. Like it can be 5, 10, 20 degrees. So I learnt my lesson with that pretty early on. So I've got my compass set so that it's finding true south as opposed to magnetic south, so that's a setting on this compass, and I just hold it against the wedge here. So we want to get this as close as possible. So that looks pretty good there. So at this point we've got the alignment due south. Next we want to adjust the declination, I think it's called, so that the tracker is pointing up by the number of degrees we are, whatever our latitude is basically. So my compass also has the latitude on it. So for Nambung National Park it is minus 30.61 degrees. So I pull out another app on the phone. Aren't these phones absolutely amazing? And I lay it in the bed of the wedge. We want to get that as close as we can. That's probably good enough. So I'm on about 30.7, 30.6. That's more than good enough. So at this point we are aligned with the south celestial pole. So my wedge is exactly in line with the south celestial pole. So next step is to put the tracker on. Do that up. Then we grab this part. I don't know what this part's called, but it comes with the this tracker is actually a Skywatcher Star Adventurer 2, and this is just the component that I slide into the turny bit. I don't know what the technical name is. The other thing I've got on here is a move, shoot, move Z bracket, and I just adjust that. So we'll slide this in. Tighten it up, and I adjust the Z bracket so that it is level. Tighten it up quite nicely. So that's the platform for the camera, except next I need the head that the camera attaches to. So I've actually got a Benro 3-way geared head. I just love the degree of control I get with this, but you could just use any old normal ball head. So we attach that, screw that on top. Nice and tight. And next comes the camera. So before I put the camera on, I might just level this all up a bit. Camera goes on the top. And that is pretty much it. So the next step is to take a couple of test shots. So we'll do that next. But you can see that was pretty quick. 5 minutes, probably less on a good day. And we're all ready for tracking. So we can shoot up to 1, 2, 3 minute exposures easily with this technique with the 20 and 35mm lenses. Okay, well, I'll better get shooting before it gets too late. Okay guys, I'll speak again soon. Unfortunately, at this stage, I had managed to zip the jacket up over the microphone so the audio was unintelligible. But basically, I'm just saying I'd finished all the track shots, and yeah, just stay tuned till the end of the video to see the final results. And I'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.